that, and if you want to start recording, let's call this special called meeting to order. And thank everybody for your availability this morning. This is a very important day. I believe we are welcoming some folks both from the Dyersburg community and perhaps from the news media as well, who are very interested in this announcement. Today, we will act on a recommendation from the Chancellor for the next president of Dyersburg State Community College. And with that, Secretary Perry, would you do us the honor of calling the roll, please?
Yes, Vice Chair Reynolds. In accordance with TCA 844-10, excuse me, I apologize. I will call the roll. Governor Lee. Dr. Apple.
Here.
Regent Burdine.
Here.
Regent Duckett.
Here.
Regent George.
Here.
Regent Gill.
Here.
Regent Green.
Here.
Regent Hatch.
Here.
Commissioner Hatcher.
Here.
Regent House.
Here.
Regent Powers.
Here.
Regent Reed.
Here.
Vice Chair Reynolds.
Here.
Commissioner Schwinn. And I was informed she would be out of the office attending a conference today and not able to join us. Regent Shelton.
Here.
Regent Thompson.
Here.
Great. Regent Varlin.
Here.
Regent Womp.
Here.
And Regent White.
I'm here.
Thank you. Madam Chair, you have a quorum. Also, I want to make you aware that the candidate being recommended is on the call.
Oh, thank you very much. Mariah, do we also need to ask everybody the two questions before we go to the necessity to meet electronically?
Yes.
Do you want to take care of that?
I will.
Thank you.
In accordance with TCA 844-10C3, there are two questions that need to be answered by the regents for the record. First, can the regent simultaneously hear and speak with others participating in the meeting? And second, is the regent alone in the room? If the answer to both questions is yes, the regent can simply answer yes to both questions. Anyone who is not alone can identify any other people present in the room with the regent. When I call your question, your name, please answer these two questions. Dr. Apple?
Yes to both.
Dr. Regent Burdine?
Yes to both.
Regent Duckett?
Yes to both.
Regent George?
Yes to both.
Regent Gill?
Yes and yes.
Regent Green?
Yes to both.
Regent Hatch?
Yes to both.
Commissioner Hatcher?
Yes to both.
Regent House?
Yes to both.
Regent Powers?
Yes to both.
Regent Reed?
Yes to both.
Vice Chair Reynolds?
Yes to both.
Regent Shelton?
Yes to both.
Regent Thompson?
Yes to both.
Regent Varlin?
Yes to both.
Regent Womp? Regent Womp? I'll come back. Regent White?
Okay, yes to the first. To the second, I am in the corner of a large open area. I have a headset on so no one can hear, and my screens point to the corner and no one can see the screens.
Sounds great. And I'll go back. Regent Womp, are you with us?
Yeah, I'm here. Yes and yes.
Okay, great.
Or no and no.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you, Mariah. First roll call down, my dear. So congratulations. Thank you.
Thanks very much.
Thank you. And again, welcome. We were asked to meet electronically today to receive the Chancellor's recommendation for the presidency of Dyersburg State. Given the fact that we have a limited time between this candidate's selection being recommended and the desired start date for the new president, we scheduled this virtually to meet in conjunction with our committee chairs and audit committee. Of course, when these meetings were originally scheduled, there was still considerable uncertainty about what COVID-related conditions would be. And of course, as you know, for organizing and scheduling purposes, we have opted to schedule the meetings electronically. We do, however, need a motion to approve us meeting electronically, and I will open the floor, please.
So moved. Yolanda?
Thank you, Regent Green. And a second?
Second, it's Tom.
Thank you. Any discussion? Hearing none, let's dispense with this piece of business. We will take a roll call vote on the necessity to meet electronically, please. Ms. Perry?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Regent Apple?
Aye.
Regent Burdine?
Aye.
Regent Duckett?
Aye.
Regent George?
Aye.
Regent Gill?
Aye.
Regent Green?
Aye.
Regent Hatch?
Aye.
Commissioner Hatcher?
Aye.
Regent Powers?
Aye.
Regent Reed?
Aye.
Vice Chair Reynolds?
Aye.
Regent Thompson?
Aye.
Regent Varlin?
Aye.
Regent Wamp?
Aye.
Regent White?
Aye.
The motion carries.
Thank you all very much. Now that we have dispensed with our important housekeeping, it is a pleasure to call on Chancellor Tidings to receive her recommendation this morning. Chancellor?
Oh, thank you so much. And thanks to all of you for being with us a little bit early to take care of this important business today. As you are all aware, Dr. Boyer announced her plans to retire as president of Dyersburg State effective January the 4th, 2022. The board approved the criteria for the next president. It's meeting on June 18th, 2021. A search advisory committee was formed and was comprised of 17 individuals, including members from the Board of Regents, community leaders from the region, and Dyersburg State faculty, students, staff, and administration. Their time and dedication to this search was remarkable, and a very special thanks goes to each of them for your dedication, support, and help with this presidential search. I'd also like to thank and recognize the members of the board who served diligently on the committee. Our chair, Regent Greg Duckett, Regent Mark George, Regent Nisha Powers, and Vice Chair Emily Reynolds. I'd also like to thank the executive search firm of Greenwood Asher for their work and diligent effort on the search. Betty and her staff have always been wonderful to work with, and I truly appreciate their assistance in finding a great pool of candidates for the committee to consider. Dyersburg State, as each of you know, contributes greatly to the economy and welfare in that community. I know that the person being recommended today will continue the progress that has been made and will strive to keep the momentum going for student success at this fine institution. After careful review and consideration, Madam Chair, I am pleased to recommend to you Dr. Scott Cook as the next president of Dyersburg State Community College. Dr. Cook is currently the provost of Madisonville Community College, located in Madisonville, Kentucky, a position that he has held since 2018. The public community college is part of the Kentucky Community and Technical College system. He had previously served as Vice President for Quality Assurance and Performance Funding at Motlow State Community College. Prior to that role, he was a professor of history and was the college's Southern Association of Colleges and Schools Commission on Colleges liaison and Assistant Vice President for Academic Affairs. Dr. Cook also had held prior administrative appointments at Georgia Military College. He earned his Doctorate of Education in Curriculum and Instruction from Tennessee State University, his Master's of Liberal Studies from Fort Hays State University, his Bachelor of Science in Political Science from Middle Tennessee State University, and his Associate of Science from Motlow State Community College. An excellent pool of candidates was brought forth through the nationwide search. And through this process, I do believe Dr. Cook is the best choice going forward for Dyersburg State Community College and the success of its students. If adopted, Dr. Cook will begin on January the 4th, 2022 with standard presidential allowances and state of Tennessee employee benefits. Madam Chair, I call on Regent Duckett for comments.
Thank you, Chancellor Tidens. I also want to thank the community of Dyersburg, the entire team there at Dyersburg State Community College, and especially, as you acknowledged, the individuals who served on the Advisory Search Committee. As mentioned, I had the pleasure of serving as the chair of the committee. This is the third committee, presidential search, that I have chaired. And I am especially pleased, and will probably get in trouble for pointing out a few members who served on the search committee, but there are 4 that I would like to acknowledge, and 2 of which were the student regents who served on the search committee. Ollie Myrick, who is student government president, and Ari Milam, who is a student athlete. She is full of spunk and energy. She plays softball there, but both of those individuals brought a unique perspective and were genuinely engaged in the process. I also want to thank and acknowledge 2 of our colleagues, Nisha Powers and Mark George. This was the first time I had the pleasure of serving on the search committee with them, but they were extremely dedicated and diligent in their effort, which helped us to reach a consensus on our new president that is being recommended today. By way of background, the search committee held its first committee meeting on August 18th, then a second one on September 2nd. The committee met to consider and select candidates for round 1 interviews. 10 candidates were interviewed on September 16th and 17th. As a result of those interviews, 5 candidates were brought forth for referencing, and the committee recommended all 5 of the candidates to move forward to the next stage. Campus interviews were held in person on October 27th and November 2nd. Dr. Cook was one of the 5 finalists chosen by the Presidential Search Committee from 62 applicants from around the country. Madam Chair, it was my sincere pleasure to serve as the chair of the search committee, and I wholeheartedly support Chancellor Tidens' recommendation and make a motion to hire Dr. Scott Cook as the next president of Dyersburg State Community College.
Thank you, Regent Duckett, for supporting the Chancellor's recommendation. And importantly, thank you for chairing this committee and always for the wisdom and the steady hand you bring to this process. It was a pleasure working with you once again. We have a motion from Regent Duckett. Regent George or Powers, would you care to offer a second?
I'm happy to. This is Nisha Powers.
Thank you very much, Regent Powers. Do you all have any comments you would like to share before we call the vote on this process?
I just thought this is Regent George. I just thought the process was very thorough, very detailed, and I just thought it was an outstanding due diligence in searching for the next president.
Thank you, sir. And as Regent Duckett said, thanks for taking the time to do this. So, Regent Powers?
Thank you, Madam Chair. It was Vice Chair. It was truly an honor to serve, and I learned so much, I think, is what I walked away with Chairman Duckett's leadership, but also with just the community of Dyersburg folks. They're so thoughtful and wise and compassionate. So I feel like this decision was led by both the mind and the heart, and I'm excited about the future of Dyersburg.
Nicely put. Thank you as well. Regent Apple, before I call the vote, you know our candidate, Dr. Cook, better than the rest of us. Any comments?
I am extremely excited about doing an enthusiastic yes to this vote today because I have known him for many, many years, and I've watched him progress up in higher education. You will not find a better man, and you won't find a better leader than you will in Scott Cook. So I am extremely pleased about welcoming him back to Tennessee.
That is an excellent endorsement. Thank you. And obviously you heard my dog chime in with his enthusiastic response as well. My apologies. Thank you, Regent Apple. Well, with that and these excellent comments and good service, unless there are any objections, since we have a motion and a second, I will call on Secretary Perry once again for our roll call vote to approve the Chancellor's recommendation of Dr. Scott Cook as president of Dyersburg State Community College. Mariah?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Regent Apple?
An enthusiastic yes.
Regent Perdine?
Aye.
Regent Duckett?
Aye.
Regent George?
Aye.
Regent Gill?
Aye.
Regent Green?
Aye.
Regent Hatch?
Aye.
Commissioner Hatcher?
Aye.
Regent Powers?
Aye.
Regent Reed?
Aye.
Vice Chair Reynolds?
Aye.
Regent Thompson?
Aye.
Regent Varlin?
Aye.
Regent Wamp?
Aye.
Regent White?
Aye.
The motion carries unanimously.
Dr. Cook, Mariah mentioned you were on the line as we started this call. I'd love to call on you and say welcome once again. We are glad you are returning to Tennessee and you are returning to the TBR system that you know so well, from being a student to now being a president in our system. It's really quite moving, but welcome. And what, if any, comments would you care to make this morning?
Thank you very much, Madam Vice Chair. I am truly honored by this extraordinary opportunity to serve as Dyersburg State Community College's fourth president. And I'm excited to continue and build on the legacy that Dr. Karen Boyer has created there. I owe so much of my professional experience to a TBR community college. I began as a student on a Pell Grant at Montlow, and I later gained so much positive professional experiences that would influence my career. I understand the significant faith and the trust that you have all placed in me, and I look forward to serving students, the employees, and the community, and helping the area residents to reach their dreams just as Montlow State Community College did for me. Thank you so much again for the opportunity to serve as Dyersburg State's next president.
Thank you, sir. Welcome. We are excited for you. We're excited for us. We're excited for Dyersburg. As Regent Powers said, it is such a great college and such a great community, and I know all of us felt that spirit. As you said, you were building on a legacy of Dr. Boyer's, and we will be honoring her next month at our board meeting. But I will say, before I call on the Chancellor again, we had an opportunity to travel to Dyersburg last Thursday night for an event that the college held to honor Dr. Boyer, and it was a pleasure to be there. And again, just that spirit of community was very strong. Chancellor, any further announcements or comments?
Again, just a hearty congratulations to Dr. Cook. We are very excited to have you on board. A big thank you again to those that served on the committee. And as Vice Chair Reynolds said, we did have a wonderful opportunity to go down to Dyersburg on Thursday evening and celebrate with Karen and the community her 37 years of service to our system. And we will be bringing before you in December a resolution to vote on in her honor. So thanks again to each and every one of you for the role that you play in this very important process that we have in selecting a president. And just to remind everybody that immediately after this call, you know that we will move right into committee chairs. So thanks to each of you for your time this morning.
Our work is not yet done. So once again, Dr. Cook, we look forward to seeing you on the 4th of January, if not before. And we're standing by for anything you may need. Congratulations.
Thank you again. I appreciate it.
Thank you. So with that, unless there are any objections, we will adjourn this special called meeting of the Tennessee Board of Regents and return momentarily for committee chairs. Thank you all.